up, y'all? Crumpets commentating here, y'all. aka Jimmy J, aka J Legend, aka the best in the business. We here talking about the first topic. We here talking about TJ Watt linked to the Eagles, which I doubt that the Eagles would ever trade him because they had to give up. You got to probably give up at least 2 draft picks to get him, and then you got to pay him that a big contract. You probably got to pay him more than you pay Nolan Smith. But I believe you can get 10 sacks out of Nolan Smith, but it haven't been proven yet because he haven't played a. He played majority. He played this. He played the whole season, but he didn't play the whole season as a starter. He didn't play as a starter until with the last 8 games as a starter when Graham got knocked out, knocked out the game. So he played, but he was he played in relief for the first half of the season. He still was able to get 6.5 sacks, which is pretty good to finish off the season for a guy that didn't start the whole year. But he played. You see people like Dan Stillinger try to make it like the guy was hurt for most of the season. He played the whole season. And I believe he's going to be a 10-sack season. And for these people to make it try to make it like Nolan Smith is not good enough to be a starter in the league, which is asinine. Like, you got to let that man play out the season, play out a whole season as a starter, and I think he could be just fine. But they do a TJ Watt trade. I don't really agree with them getting to. I believe we got a good enough pass rush just like they was trying to get the dude from Cleveland. And I was like, that guy, the guy from Cleveland, he was going to cost us too much. We had to give up a king ransom for a guy that's 30 years old. Yeah, why would I trade for a guy that's 30? Give a king for a guy that's 30 years old in the NFL? Yeah, and he's still got 2 years left on his deal. So by the time you re-sign him and re-up, he'd be 35 years old. That don't even make sense. Yeah, the math wasn't math. Yeah, it didn't make sense. The math wasn't mathing, and it just didn't make sense. The math wasn't mathing. It wasn't make sense. It didn't. And like y'all boys, Jim Jones said, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, but it don't make sense because I believe Nolan Smith he's gonna be a good player. I don't know if he's gonna be TJ Watt, but he's gonna be good. And I ain't gonna give up on Nolan Smith without giving him a chance to be a starter for the full season. I believe he's gonna have a great year. And I've seen enough out of Nolan Smith to believe he's most likely going to be somewhere between 8 to 10 sacks this season. So I believe they're going to get enough pass rush. They're going to have him on the left side, and they're going to have Jalen Hunt on the other side. But TJ Watt, to me, that's not a good deal. I'm not giving up Nolan Smith for him. It doesn't make sense. But you got a lot of these people that that throw names out there without actually doing their due diligence to seeing how the mathed out. Like see what they actually get in return. They getting a good friend, but you had to give up too much for him. And two, you got a good player, Nolan Smith, that's still on a rookie deal. Doesn't make sense doing it until you still gotta resign Jalen Carter. You still it doesn't make sense at this point in time. That trade doesn't make sense unless Nolan Smith is god awful and you need another pass rusher, and then you had to get a guy like T.J. Watt. But outside of that, I'm not doing that. And Nolan Smith showed enough that he'll be a, a most likely a good edge rusher. He played good last year in Brandon Graham's absence, so and showed up in the playoffs. He had 4 sacks in the playoffs, so I believe in Nolan Smith. I'm not. Yeah, y'all just throwing that out there is just because y'all don't believe in Nolan Smith. It is goofy. I think we good at edge rusher. You can might add a few free agents here and there, but I'm not making no trades. Yeah, I'm not making no trades. It is it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. And for them for those people that saying that it is dumb. This it is stupid. You gotta make things make sense. In that trade scenario doesn't make sense. You had to give up too much for him, and I'm not ready to give up on Nolan Smith. I'm not giving up on Nolan Smith when he hadn't really had a chance to really prove it. And he played great last year, so give that man his opportunity that showed he could be a full time star. So yeah, give that man his opportunity. Now he fall flat on his face. That's a different story. But I don't believe he's gonna foul it. I believe he's gonna play the whole season, and I believe he's gonna be good. But going to the next topic, we gonna get back on to the Eagles defense again, where we gotta examine the rest of the pass rush, like I said, Jalen Hunt and Jelix Hunt and the rest of the group. See what else they gonna be able to see. They gonna be able to get a formal pass rush. See, I like APR. I think they gonna be at least 3 deep, 3 or 4 deep. I think they gonna be all right. I think they at least right now 4 deep. think they at least four deep. And they brought back Patrick Robinson, like the backup edge rusher. But I believe they're gonna be all right. The last year, yeah, we were thin at edge rusher after Brandon Graham got hurt. We really thin at edge rusher after Brandon. Yeah, we were just hoping that Jealous and none of the other guys got hurt. we was hanging on, but they played like they were supposed to play. But this year we need APR to step up. New guys like APR. We need the guy that we got from the Giants, the Eliezer, Josh H.O. We need him to step up if he makes the roster because he might be cut. We need other people to step up. We need other people to step up. So, but as far as that, I think the Eagles will be just fine. We just need those guys. We need the secondary to play great again. We got Keon Mitchell and Rango, Keely Rango. He needs to step up at the other side of the corner. I think he's going to play right corner. Mitchell taking Darius Slay's spot. He needs to step up. But outside of that, and the linebacker, I think they're going to be fine at linebacker, inside linebacker. They're deep in inside linebacker. Yeah, inside linebacker, I don't think you're going to have to worry. They deep at inside linebacker. Yeah. I think they'd be fine at edge rusher. I think they'd be fine. They not as experienced, but Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt, they're pretty experienced. I think APR, Leeser, he's got some experience in playing. I think they'd be just fine. I think they'd be just fine. But this is the Prime Pensacom team. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Peace.